organization that fights to ensure that all Californians have access to safe, clean, and affordable water. Unfortunately, more than 1 million Californians are impacted with contaminated water every year. Today, I'm also here as part of the over 1 million Californians with a private well that has unsafe water. This is a statewide crisis that impacts children and families both from rural and urban areas. In Kern County alone, more than 60 public water systems are out of compliance with drinking water standards, serving over 200,000 people. We have been fighting for decades to ensure safe water, but we finally have the solution to solve California's water crisis. It's called the Safe and Affordable Drinking Water Fund. The fund will provide a permanent, secure, and sustainable source of funding for safe drinking water for impacted communities. We must pass the fund by June. We continue to support the governor's Safe and Affordable Drinking Water budget proposal. It is the most comprehensive, it is based on years of work, and it holds agriculture accountable by paying the Ag's new fees. We applaud the governor's leadership and commitment to pass the fund by June. We also applaud the leadership of the Speaker Rendon and Assembly Member Eduardo Garcia, who are leading the Assembly's safe water efforts. We also want to applaud our local leadership across the valley who have passed resolutions to support the fund. While we feel the momentum, it is not enough. We need to take action and we need to pass the fund by June. The governor and the legislature must find common ground and come together to pass the fund by June, because the over 1 million Californians cannot wait any longer. We're holding press conferences across the state over the next few weeks, and we also are holding a week-long water strike in Sacramento, starting on June 10th, where for 1 hour we'll stop drinking water in solidarity with the over 1 million Californians that don't have access to safe and clean water. Please come and join us. The community is not going to leave until the legislature has passed the fund, so they better pass it now. Join us in this fight for safe water. We are thirsty for justice, and we demand that the legislature pass the Safe and Affordable Drinking Water Fund by June. Today we're going to have 5 speakers who will share their stories of why they support the fund. But before I introduce them, I would like to welcome Jasmine de la Aguila. She's a policy advocate with Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability, who are co-hosting today's press conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. As Erika mentioned, my name is Jasmine de la Aguila with Leadership Council. Hi, good morning. Like Erika mentioned, my name is Jasmine de la Aguila with Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability. I not only work for Leadership Council, but I was born and raised right down the street on California. So, I mean, this hits home, right? And so, with Leadership Council, we believe in this idea of co-empowerment, right? That the community and advocates work alongside each other to push legislation and eradicate injustice for sound policy. So this safe, affordable drinking water fund is so important because we know that safe and affordable drinking water is a human right and a basic necessity. People need access to this precious resource, yet more than 1 million Californians don't have access to it. Meanwhile, contaminated water is a public health disaster, putting million Californians at risk for cancer, birth defects, heart disease, diabetes, and infant mortality. Right now, unsafe water can be found in nearly every county in the state, and some families are at greater risk. For example, low income and communities of color are disproportionately affected and harmed by unsafe drinking water. In a study done by UC Berkeley, it shows that Latino residents are likely to be affected at most by nitrate in their water in the communities in the Central Valley. And so California needs safe and affordable drinking water, and it needs it today, now. Families can't wait, and they shouldn't wait to have safe and affordable drinking water. It's a human right. Our elected officials need to pass the fund by June, and it's so important that they do so and support the community that they elected to represent them. So it's time for a fund. It's time to eradicate contaminated water, and it's time for our state to say no to toxic taps. Thank you.
Our first speaker today is the California Environmental Protection Agency Secretary Jared Blumenfeld. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here today. It's a particular honor and pleasure to be here with Dolores Huerta. She's been a fighter, and when she comes out to events, you know it means something. So she's fought for decades to have justice, and this really is a question of justice. I'm here on behalf of Governor Newsom and the Newsom administration, and from day one the governor has said enough is enough. We need to fix this problem right now, today. So 1974, that was when ABBA was on the top of the charts. The federal government passed the Safe Drinking Water Act. So the federal government 1974 said we need to have safe drinking water for every single American, and yet in 2019 we still don't have safe drinking water and affordable drinking water for more than 1 million Californians. 1 million. So we all woke up this morning. Some of us took a shower. I did. If you were thinking about that water coming out of the faucet, coming out of the shower head, polluting you through your pores, and then, as I do, you have a cup of tea and you're worried about, did it boil enough? Can I actually drink this water? Right? Thinking about that every single day, and then you turn on the faucet and you have to wonder, is this water killing me? Is it contaminating me, my kids, my community? That is not a worry. With all the worries that we have in California, with affordability and other issues, this should not be on the list. So we are committed to getting this across the finish line, and that means we need a fund that is there for always, not maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. It has to be there all the time, and it has to be sufficient to solve the problem, which is about $140 million a year. So let me tell you what that problem is. So the problem is that we have the money to build facilities, but many facilities are built and then they can't be operated because there isn't enough money for communities to pay for the operation and maintenance of those facilities. So people are like, well, we see there must be enough money. There really isn't. There really isn't. But this is like, it's a lot of money, $140 million, but in the context of California's budget, we can do this. This is one of the biggest budgets we have in the history of the state, and we have people that are calling out that need our help, and we need to answer that help. In 2012, California declared that safe and affordable drinking water is a human right. That's a big deal. But it has to mean something, and it only means something if we're making sure year by year more and more and more of our residents have access to safe and affordable drinking water. So this is a fight. People don't often want to take bold action. We're lucky that we have a governor and community residents that are not afraid to take bold action, but that's what it's going to have to take. It's going to have to take people standing up and say, you know what, we want to change. We want a positive change. This is the future we want in California, and it's an equitable one. It's one where everyone has access to safe and affordable drinking water. So with climate change, our water supplies are going to become more infrequent, more irregular. With the overdrafting of our aquifers and oil and gas operations, there's pollution of the water that we do have. So we're really behind the 8 ball now. We need to catch up to the rest of the country. We need to catch up to the rest of California to make sure that we look at all of California, not just some of California. And all of California requires that we have safe and affordable drinking water today. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Blumenfeld. Now, our next speaker is someone close by. who has lived through the experiences and that we want to hear from him, and someone who has taken a leadership position to change the things in his neighborhood. So please help me welcome Mayor Gurrola, Jose Gurrola.
Good morning, buenos dias. Hopefully you guys can hear me and I'm loud enough. I'm the mayor of the city of Arvin, and for the second year in a row, we are proud to pass a resolution in support of the Safe and Drinking Water Fund. And let me tell you why. For the past 13 years, the city of Arvin has been suffering with arsenic in its water. And every month, the water district sends out in their bill to my constituents the fact that the arsenic levels are above what the federal EPA considers to be safe. And so we've been partnering with the Arvin Community Services District and several community organizations like the Community Water Center, RCAC, and neighborhood leaders to advocate for more funding to build new wells that will yield clean drinking water. And I'm very excited to announce, it's actually already been announced, but to reiterate that the water district just received a $14 million grant to build 3 new water wells that hopefully a year from now will, in the city of Arvin, have clean drinking water. But nothing guarantees us that those wells will have clean drinking water. There may be a necessity for a treatment plant. We would need money to build that plant, but also for the operations and maintenance. So we're not out of the woods yet. And Arvin is in the same position as many valley communities here in the Central Valley, in Coachella, and throughout the state of California. And it is a shame in the largest state in the nation, and a state that can be considered the 5th largest economy in the world, in a Central Valley that produces billions of dollars in agricultural commodities and fossil fuel industry, that we cannot provide safe and affordable drinking water for over 1 million Californians and 500,000 people here in Kern County. That is why I'm here, first of all, to thank the support of the governor, of the pro tem, of the assembly speaker, and thank our local people, our Senator Melissa Hurtado and our Assembly Member Rudy Salas for the support that they helped the city of Arvin and the community of Arvin to get that $14 million grant for clean water. But we need them to be champions in this effort. We need them to support the Safe and Affordable Drinking Water Fund. They need to hear our voices. We send them to Sacramento to represent us. We know it's tough. We know the dynamics change, but they need to be champions for the Central Valley. And we urge them to support the Safe and Affordable Drinking Water Fund. Live up to the reality that safe and affordable drinking water is a human right for every single Californian. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Gurrola. Now our next speaker is Bartolo Chavez, a resident from Arvin who has experienced contaminated water for many years, a little bit even more than a decade. But he wants to share his story, and he will share his remarks in Spanish, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Bartolo Chávez y represento a la comunidad de Arvin, por decir Arvin porque es mi comunidad, pero vamos a representar voces de Wetpatch, Lamont, Bakersfield y todo el área donde esté contaminada el agua. Ya son más de 10 años que supe yo que el agua está de mala calidad, que contiene diferentes tipos de venenos, de químicos que aplican los rancheros y que están dañando el agua, como el plomo, el nitrato, el 1, 2, 3, ese CP que le llaman. Todo eso nos está dañando y ya hemos estado detrás de nuestros políticos que nos representan. Siempre ponen excusas. El año pasado nos dijeron que porque vienen las votaciones y se suspendió. Yo pienso que tenían miedo a su posición, su puesto de trabajo. Es obvio, es razonable, pero de todos modos tienen que poner a ellos de su parte para aprobar las leyes que se requieren para limpiar el agua. Ya fuimos a hablar con el señor Rudy Salas también después de que ganó otra vez y ellos dicen que sí. La señora Hurtado también ya le dijimos y ella dice que sí, pero a unos dice sí, a otros dice no, pero ella públicamente ya hizo una vez que no apoya. Entonces queremos saber quién es la que la detiene, que no apoya, en qué se basa o quién está detrás de ella. Sabemos que los rancheros, los ricos, los dueños de tierras son los que se oponen porque no quieren que el agua, no sé qué es lo que quieren, que no se limpie, pero pongámonos a pensar, la fruta también está ingiriendo de esa agua, la fruta que llega a la mesa de ellos, a lo mejor también ya algún día va a llegar contaminada, si no es que ya lo es. Entonces queremos que nuestros políticos que nos representan, que nos hagan el favor de